The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Hold on tight, things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Hey, welcome to the program. How are you? Thank you for your standing ovation. Please sit down now. It's embarrassing when you stand up when I'm just on a TV, you know? Nonetheless, how are you? This is Ron Van Dam. I do the Ron Van Dam Show every weekday on satellite radio, on all the platforms, the iHeartRadio, the Amazon Music, the Stitcher, the Pandora, not the jewelry company, the music thing, Apple Podcasts, I don't know, all of them. And then we do syndicated radio stations as well. I've been doing this for 30 years. I'm not gloating. I'm actually a little embarrassed about that. And that's what I do. So someone said to me, Ron, why don't you go back and I used to do a weekly variety show on television for like 20 years. And I got out of that because I started losing my hair. I figured, And someone said, Ron, why don't you just do your show on TV? I said, why? And then this came up and they invited me in here once a week to do what I do on the radio, only on TV, minus the guests that I have on, because I don't want to bring people in here. And that's pretty much it. So that's what I'm doing, and that's the end of it, and I don't want any arguments about it. It's just the way it is. This show is a little bit different, again, from the school committee meetings in the sense that I am not a school committee member, nor have I ever asked to be, nor would I ever want to be. You leave that up to the people that want to do it, not to the ones that don't. I used to be president of Brockton Community Cable Television for 8 years, so I know as of what I speak. But that's that. Now that I know, now that you know a little bit about me, I'm going to ask you a little bit about you. Tell me about yourself. Oh, by the way, if you have Comcast, as you realize, there's little cameras in the cable box, and we can see you all the time. Everything that you do all day, if you're doing it in the room where you have that cable box, I can see you. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you, because I'm looking at you now, are you going out looking like that? Change your clothes. Oh my God, that's embarrassing. You see, I can see you. You know I'm right. So tell me about yourself. Uh-huh. Really? Seriously? Wow. How long did it take for that to clear up? So it was an effective medication? It did stop that? Right. Uh-huh. And your skin is clear now? Oh, not there. Oh, I see. Well, that's good, though. And how's everything going? Oh, real? Oh, I'm sorry. I did not know that. I wouldn't have asked if I had known that. Okay. Sure. Oh, great. Wow. Congratulations. Oh, but it didn't work out. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, enough about you. By the way, what do you do for a living? You're gotta be kidding me. They still do that? I didn't even know that was a thing. Wow. It's hard to realize you make a living off of that. Oh, you don't really? Oh, okay. Anyway, I'm going to start the show. Thanks. Oh, man. You know what I learned as a child? Maybe we have this in common. We probably don't. You know what I learned as a child? I learned to develop selective memory loss. Yeah. Now, memory loss is not a funny thing. It's a horrible thing. But if you can do it selectively, It is not so bad. If you can forget all the crap you went through, all the horrible times, all the pain that you've endured at various moments in your life, if you can get involved in some serious memory loss, I will say, memory loss of those negative times, you got something going. I think that's a great idea. I'm not making fun of memory loss. I'm just saying, why remember the stuff that was so horrible? Why harp on that? Why take such a firm grip on the horrible things? Why do we do that? Why don't we take a firm grip on the wonderful things, the positive things, the things that were joyous and fun and really, really rewarding? Why don't we grab a hold of that? Because we're human beings and we don't do that. We go for the darkest place we can find and we catapult ourselves back to the horrible times. That's what we do. That's what humans do. I have crafted with great agility the ability to have selective memory loss. I forget. I know that things happened, but I forget just how horrible they were. It's a wonderful thing. You should go to school for that. Selective memory loss. I should tour the country with my selective memory loss forums, and I can make a lot of money. Anyway, yeah, growing up is crazy. I think I've talked about this before. Your childhood shapes your entire life, whether you like it or not. If you had a wonderful childhood, you're going to have a wonderful, positive attitude through life usually. If you had a horrible childhood, if it was abusive in any sense of the word, or confining, that's the way your personality is kind of going to be based on it. You're always going to be on the defensive. You're always going to expect the bad things to happen. That's why childhood is so important and why we don't know what we're doing with that part of life. We have no idea how to do that. We don't. Parents always say that, I wish there was a guidebook for being a parent. Well, there is, but it doesn't make any difference because your situation's always different. There's nothing the same about anything. There are no hard, fast rules how to raise a child. They need boundaries, but they don't want boundaries. They have to be told no, but they don't want to be told no. It's a difficult situation. And there's not much of a way to correct it. As a matter of fact, I've always found it quite humorously, satirically amazing that when you're an adult and you do something stupid or immature or moronic, your spouse or your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you have, will usually say to you, you know, this is embarrassing. You're acting like a child. That's not a compliment. If someone says to you, you know what, you're acting like a child, that's an insult. You're an adult. Don't act like a sniveling little child. That's an insult. On the other hand, when you're a child and you act like an adult, that's a compliment. You know, my son is only 7 years old, but he already sets the table and says please and thank you. My son's acting like an adult. Wow. And then your son becomes the adult and you say to your, now you're acting like a child. It's very, very confusing. It's very confusing. Sometimes it's interesting. It's kind of like a self-therapy session. You know, when it's quiet in a room and you're doing some reflecting. By the way, reflecting on your childhood can get a little dangerous. Be careful how you do that. But it's kind of interesting to try to explain some of the reasons you are the way you are. Have you ever done that? Did you ever get introspective at all? Maybe not. But if you just take a moment and like, why am I the way that I am? Why does this bother me so much, but this doesn't? Why am I like them, but not like them? Why am I so sensitive to things? Why am I so hardened to other things? Why am I who I am? Well, there's only two reasons. One would be your childhood, the way you were raised, the things that were baked into your head by your environment. And the other is, it's just the way you were. It's your chromosomes. It's the way you're made up. You got some more chromosomes of stupidity than you do of intelligence. I don't know. It's the way you're made. It's the way you're built. Is it anybody's fault? Probably not. So one is somebody's fault and the other is totally not somebody's fault. Then I guess there's a third explanation, and I don't know. When I was younger, I used to think maybe this was possible, that this is not your first life, that you were born again, not in a Christian sense, but in a physical sense. You were a life form, and then you were recreated. Your spirit keeps going. I don't know how. Your spirit keeps going, and then your life is breathed into another body, and you have another life. That's a lot to explain, because no one's ever said that. Some people do. They come into this life and they say, I was king of Prussia way back centuries ago. Oh, were you? Oh, yes, I was. Oh, yes, I was. And it's funny, whenever I come across anything Prussian, I feel very much at home. So I'm pretty sure that I was the king of Prussia. And where is Prussia? I don't know. I don't know where it is. I don't know much about it. It reminds me of Ancestry.com. I've talked about that on the show before, too. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're into the Ancestry crap. I really am. And I don't mean to insult you. It's just my opinion. I don't understand why that means anything to anybody. It's information that you can do absolutely nothing with. I'll give you an example again. Hey, I found out through Ancestry or 123, it's me, I don't know what it's called, these companies. I found out that my brother's great uncle's sister on my mother's cousin's side, the 23rd cousin of the sister's brother's mother's sister's cousins, was a candlestick maker. Wow! That's incredible. I know. No wonder why I like candles. Oh, stop it. That's just stupid. Now you're being stupid. Do you know I'm related to Edgar Allan Poe's sister? No. What does that mean? I don't know. It's a famous person that everybody's heard of, and I'm related to them, but I don't know. Okay, there you are. Well, do you like strange pieces of fiction? Yeah, I guess I do. It's so ridiculous. Although some people have found that they were they found their long-lost parents through the family tree thing. That's when it's a chart. It's a pie chart or something. No, it's a tree chart. And it has all these limbs on it, and you're one of the limbs, and I don't know. And they found other family members. I haven't talked to my sister's brother's cousin, sister's mother's cousin, brother's uncle, ever before. But we hooked up through the Ancestry service, and now I'm proud to say, I am very close to my brother's sister's father's uncle's daughter's father's mother, sister, brother. And what do you have in common? We both like cheese. We love cheese, all of us. And that is Now I am connected and my life is worth something. Oh, yeah? Okay, fine. That's made your life a lot more full, right? Uh-huh. Look, some brothers and sisters have nothing in common at all, other than the fact that some of them had the same parents. Okay, good. They don't get along, but they had the same parents. Yes, but I get along with my sister's uncle's brother's cousin's father's mother really well. Wow, that's incredible. The other thing I don't understand about the ancestry stuff is it was given to me as a gift by somebody else who said, your gift is I have signed you up for Ancestry.com or 123, it's me, or whatever that is. I don't know. They signed me up, and I found out what percentage of me is from other countries. And I suppose I found it fascinating for 10 to 15 seconds. I found out that I'm like 20% Italian and 5% French. I'm Dutch, about like 35%, 38% if it's raining. And it doesn't even add up to 100%. And so then I'm supposed to go around telling people, you know what? I'm 38% Dutch. Oh, okay, that's different for you. I will treat you differently now. It hasn't changed my life in any way, shape, or form. Then I get another email from the Ancestry 123 Go and See people, and they say, well, now you're not, we got more information. You're not 38% Dutch anymore. You're down to 32. You lost some points there. Your Italian has gone up 2%. Ooh, okay. Must be a good day at the stock market. Yeah, you're up on the Italian thing. You're down on the Dutch. We've picked up a hairline of British. Maybe that'll be big someday. But right now, you're lying there at about 5%. You're in a good lie of 5%. You could expand to 7, 8%. We don't know, but you seem to be on your way. Continue to invest there. And you're doing rather well. The Italian thing is holding pretty steady. You're pretty much Italian. But I'm not Italian. Oh, yeah, you are. We did the research. We called some people, and we have some psychics. And that family tree thing, man. I just don't get it. I really don't. I don't know how people feel fulfilled by knowing their really distant past. It makes them feel like now they're worthy of something. I don't. You know what happened? Ancestry and 123 Go and See have made some money here. That's they're doing all right. They're doing all right. If you're into that stuff, I apologize. I'm not. Why am I speaking to you on an angle? There's nothing over here. All right, this is better. And I need to sit up straight, and the cameras need to be lower. Just a mess. It's just a mess. Tell you what I wanted to talk about today with the 12 minutes or less that we have left in the program. I had read an amazing thing about the Miss USA pageant. Oh my God. Are you ready for this? The 2023 Miss Teen USA and the 2023 Miss USA both walked out on their jobs. They were crowned Miss Teen and Miss USA, and they both left within like a week of each other, dismissing, I'm not doing this anymore. Oh my God. The earth is falling apart. It must have been the solar flare. What, are you kidding me? You go through all that competition, all the makeup and the strutting around, and then after you win the crown for a whole year, you say, no, I'm not putting up with this crap anymore. What happened? Oh my God, what happened? It is the biggest who gives a, very close. It's the biggest example of who gives a crap about that. And of course, Donald Trump was one of the producers and organizers of these beauty pageants. Kind of makes sense when you look into his personality. I mean, nobody says, "Oh, really? He did that?" No, pretty much understandable. Miss Teen USA last year was Uma Sofia. It's all one word. Uma Sofia Strivavasta. She walked out. Miss USA last year was Noelia Voigt. She walked out. Why would they do something like that? Why they've crafted their entire lives trying to become this crown title. What could have made them both walk out? Apparently, the Miss USA organization handles both titles, Miss Teen USA and Miss USA. And apparently, when you win the crown, you have to sign a contract. It's a confidential clause, which pretty much means there's a broad spectrum in the confidential clause. It pretty much means that you cannot expose any phase of the organization to the public. Apparently, some things arose that made them really need to do that, but they had signed the clause, so they decided legally to get out of it and leave the organization. And what's happening inside the organization? Well, nobody's quite sure. All we know is these women decided, I'm not doing this anymore. And they cited in general the reason was that they did not have the same beliefs and goals and thought pattern as the organization did. That sounds very weird. The fact that both girls, within a short period of time, walked out, that's unheard of. I mean, who wouldn't want to? I would want to be Miss USA, my God. Only I don't look that good in a gown. I don't know if they're doing bathing suits anymore. That was so stupid and so demeaning. You are the finest person in the country because of the way you look. It certainly wasn't because of the way that they spoke. And remember that? There used to be these fairly attractive, by very American standards, attractive women. And then they would ask them a question, how would you solve world peace? Which is obviously an easy question to ask. How would you solve world peace in 20 words or less, please? And the girls would say, I think everybody should have a piece of pizza together and find out that they both like cheese. And that was the intelligence part of it. And the audience would either applaud or just like laugh under their breath, because if you laughed out loud, it would be too insulting because their mother could be sitting next to you. But that was like really embarrassing. So it was the stupidest thing ever. Back in the 50s and 60s, it was a big thing. It was our version of royalty, some version. Now it's like, what, are you kidding me? Are you serious? Now if someone came up to me and said, Ron, I'm Miss USA 2023, I'd say, okay, can you go talk to somebody else, please? Because I don't really want to talk. I don't understand you. I'm sorry. I'm Miss Teen USA. All right. I don't want to talk to you now or when you grow up. I just don't. I'm not in. I don't. I think it's embarrassing. Who pushed you into it? Was it something you wanted to do, or did your mother push you into this? It's kind of like dancing school. Do you really like? If your kid loves dancing school, go dance. It's not that you're going to be a professional dancer or ballet artist or anything like that. No one expects that. Well, some do, but you shouldn't. The idea is just to have some fun. Do you enjoy going to dancing school? Do you enjoy doing the dances? Do you enjoy the recitals? If you do, fine. It's like bringing your kids to a soccer thing. Like, do you like playing soccer? Yeah, I like running around kicking a ball. Fine. Do you think you're going to be a soccer star? No. You won't. You know you won't. But do you have fun doing it? Yeah. Okay, then do it. Why do kids getting into athletics always feel like they have to be on a professional team as a result of this? That's not what it's supposed to be there for. It's supposed to be there for the exercise and the involvement and the teammanship, if you're into that stuff. That's what it's for, not to become a big athletic star someday, or someday I want to be in the Olympics. Oh, shut up. You're not going to make it. Maybe you will, but don't make it your goal. Come on. Do other things that maybe are more feasible. If you become a big soccer star or in the Olympics, great. But don't make that a failure if that doesn't happen, because the odds aren't good. You're supposed to be having fun. It's supposed to be fulfilling in some way, shape, or form. It's supposed to be something that you really like doing, that you look forward to doing on a regular basis. That's what it's there for, not to be the best there has ever been in anything. Don't ever make that a goal. The goal is to have fun, to enjoy the journey. That's the goal. I've got 3 minutes left. I got other stuff to talk about, but I don't have time to get into it. I could end the show early, but I'm not going to because I have respect for this. I could ask the people here to run some cartoons, but you won't watch them. No, I could ask the school committee to come in here and just do like a 2-minute summary of the last meeting. They won't come in here. Not unless it's organized and they've taken a roll call and the whole bit. That takes. Do you ever hear of Robert's Rules? When I go to meetings, they have Robert's Rules. And Robert's Rules, I don't know what they are. I don't know Robert. I don't know why they don't use his last name, or maybe that is his last name. Maybe his name is John Roberts. I really don't know. Or his first name was just Bob. I don't really know. But he came up with a bunch of rules for a meeting. And I believe some of the rules were no gum chewing. Can't chew gum during the meeting. We have to choose someone who is going to lead the meeting and stick to the agenda. We're going to make sure that there are any questions about something in general, that it's at the end of the meeting, because I'm Bob, and those are my rules. Having donuts during the meeting is okay, but not in the middle of the meeting. It has to be either at the beginning of the meeting or at the end. Also, Robert's rule was no jelly donuts at the meeting, because it gets in the way of other people's stuff. If you bite into a jelly donut, it could squirt across the room and put somebody's eye out. Maybe they don't care for jelly. Maybe someone's allergic to jelly. Did you ever think of that? Eating your jelly donut? That's one of Robert's rules as well. The other is that you can't have your cell phone on. You can't take calls while the meeting's going on. That's Robert's rule number 7. Also, thou shalt not steal. That's one of the 10 commandments, but Robert said, let's put that in too. It's a lot of them. A lot of rules and regulations. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Until next week, I wish you peace.